I rejoice in what I have, and I greet the new with open arms. Louise Hay.
Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm a success coach, speaker, and business consultant, and my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time 10 years ago. We moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we never even been here. But we made it, and now we're living our best lives. And all along on our journey, I've said that someday when we get our quote-unquote shit together, we will help others. And since then, we've both done a lot of self-work and built successful businesses. So that day is here, and one of my ways of paying it forward is through this podcast. Each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you?
Welcome, everyone, and happy holidays. Speaking of the holidays, today I want to talk about blessings and something I have fun with and have had fun with this for years and not openly discussed it. Really, Ryan is probably the only one, and he laughs at me, but I think he's starting to get on my little blessings train. This is the sound of the change I have gathered in the last couple months. I think next time when I start over, when I fill this, I'll log a start date, but it's only been a few months that I have that amount of change. And it's in a beautiful little heart dish that I have that is from Beatrice Ball. And so the heart dish has a lot of good karma attached to it as well. But the change is what I've been gathering. And I'm going to ask you this. Do you pick up change when you see it on the sidewalk or when you find it somewhere? Because that's what this is about. It's blessings. Years ago, when my brother died, which was 16 years ago, if I remember this correctly, and he always had loose change and was dropping quarters. And when he died, for years, I would find random quarters. And so would my mother. And I never shared this with my mother because she's very competitive. So I just kept it to myself that I would find quarters as well. I was actually extremely close to my brother, and I know he's one of my angels and guides and is with me. And I would find quarters, and I would pick them up and always would smile and know that my brother was with me. And this is a documented thing too. If you read books about angels or guides, you'll find that, it's always a sign, when you find change. I'm not going to say always. I think that might be a little overstepping, but let's say I always view it as a sign, and I know it's written about that people find change and it's considered a blessing from the universe. And so mine had, really specific intention and meaning attached to it because it was attached to my brother. Now I find change all the time, constantly. And I'm always so excited about it. I found a dime the other day when I was out with Ryan, and I started dancing around in the parking lot, and I think I completely embarrassed him, but I didn't care. And it was funny because shortly thereafter, I was listening to something, and they were talking about, when you find change, you should dance around. And I made him listen to that. And I was like, here, listen. It's not just me. Everyone should be doing this. This isn't like something I developed. Everyone should be dancing around when they find change because it's blessings. And the more and more you are appreciative about your blessings, and I'm just using this change as an example, the more and more blessings will come to you. And that is a fact. It's law of attraction proven. It is what it is. So I would say I'm just that person that just does it. I don't really get into the whole science behind things, but so I find change and I dance around and say thank you, and more change comes to me and more good things come. So it's a very interesting little process. And someone else that mentioned it, and I'm pretty sure it was in this book. If not, please forgive me, but I do believe he said it in this book or in something, is T. Harv Eker. And his book is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I highly recommend this book. I listened to it several times on Audible. I actually made Ryan listen to it. So it's a good couples book for both of you to listen to, or if you listen to it and find sections that you think are applicable to your spouse or partner to listen to, you can do it that way too. Sometimes I do that with Ryan. I'll just make him listen to a section. But it's a really, really great book. It does delve into mindset and limiting beliefs and a whole bunch of other stuff. I actually might listen to it again just because it's sometimes good to always have a refresher. And you know, that's the thing about life, is that we all need refreshers all the time. You know, someone may say they're a manifestation expert. Well, you know, that's still work, and they probably know that they still have to work at it, and there might be little setbacks that happen here and there. But you know, with any of these things, they're all tools and things that you have to always be working on over the course of your lifetime. You never get perfect at any one single thing, such as manifesting, gratitude, blessings. You know, there are always things that you have to remember and remember to remember. So you continue to practice them and continue to get stronger. So anyhow, so one of the things that T. Harv Eker said was to ask the universe for other people's blessings, because other people don't allow their blessings. And that is so true. It is really true. Think about it. Think about someone you know, even if you say to them, oh, you look really great today. They might be like, oh, yeah, no, I feel fat. I look ugly. I hate this top. They're not accepting the blessing. So it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Because a blessing can be just a word. You know, if you listen to Deepak Chopra's one of his books, he talks about that too. You know, a blessing is a compliment, and you can easily give compliments. That's a free thing. And most people don't easily accept compliments. So think about that too. So it kind of cracked me up when I heard him say that, because it did make me think about how many people don't accept blessings. And I've heard that. I heard it a long time ago when I heard him say that, and it just really stuck in my brain. And I had it happen to me with the change a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was right before our book launch. So it was November 10th. And I was in Homestead, which is north of the Keys. It's like the last part of the mainland before you get on the stretch to come down to the Keys. So I had to go to Party City to get balloons, because Maggie, who is the founder of the Brilliant Breakthroughs book series that Ryan and I wrote a chapter in, she had bought us balloons, gold star balloons, to have with us on launch day, because they were all going to be together in Wisconsin for a launch party. And obviously Ryan and I are too far from Wisconsin. So she was very kind and had us, had some balloons pre-made for us, and I went to pick them up. So anywho, so I'm walking down the sidewalk with my balloons, and I see a few pennies on the sidewalk. And I bend down to pick them up, and I, of course, right? And I realized that there was a girl not too far from me. And I thought, oh gosh, you know, I don't want to be taking her pennies. What if, you know, she wants some blessings too? And I'm more than happy to share blessings. So I asked her, I said, hey, you know, do you want some of these pennies? And she looked at me and she goes, oh, no, thank you. That's what my grandma does. And I just giggled and was like, in my head, I didn't say this out loud. I just said to her, okay, no problem. And in my head, I was like, go grandma. Grandma knows what's up. Grandma knows to accept blessings. And I was really excited for her grandma, because you know what? Honestly, grandma knew what was going on. So here's just a perfect example of someone not understanding the bigger picture about picking up some loose change, and how those are blessings for the future, and to be grateful for them. And it was cute. She was very sweet about how she said it to me. She wasn't snippy or anything. It was just kind of funny and made me laugh. And it really made me even think about my grandparents and my great grandma who I really love, and I know they're with me too. So anyhow, so I thought I'd share that as well because I really want to hear that, next time you're out and about, if you see some change or some pennies or anything, it could be something else you might find. It's a blessing. Ryan found a wallet with money in Tavernier at the hardware store, and he turned it in and came home, was like, oh, I just found this guy's wallet. I turned it in. There was a couple $100 in it or something. And we didn't think much about it. We're like, oh, that's good. I'm glad you found his wallet. And we moved on with our day. And about a couple weeks later, the hardware store called and said, hey, the guy is, giving you the cash that was in the wallet because you did a good thing and turned in the wallet. So a blessing, right? Thank you. How awesome is that? A blessing. He did it just as a good karma thing, and karma came back, and he ended up getting the cash that was in the wallet. So just a nice thing, just a good blessing, and a good way to be going about your life and your day. So another quote I had written down that I wanted to share, I was going to share it for the opening quote, but then I found that quote from Louise Hay, which is definitely more appropriate and such an amazing person. But this really does coincide as well with what I'm talking about in regard to accepting blessings. And that is, the things you take for granted, someone else is praying for. Now, I couldn't find an author. It was just a thing I'd seen probably on Pinterest or something I'd written in my journal. But think about that. The things you take for granted, someone else is praying for. That's amazing. Think about that in so many aspects of your life. Even if you're mad at your kids one day, like I'm sure that happens. There's someone out there wanting children so badly and so desperately. Often people don't think about their health. They don't even think about when they wake up how grateful they should be for how healthy they are. And someone else is lying in the hospital. So I don't mean to be a downer, but I just want you to think about those things if you're feeling blue about yourself, that there's so many things that you can be grateful for that someone else is probably praying for. And especially now at the holidays. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to wrap this podcast up with just a simple affirmation. This affirmation is not rocket science-y, but honestly, so many people don't do any type of affirmations, mantras, mindset work, shifting, stopping things at the door, however you want to think about it. So many people don't do the work, and the work starts with you. So we're keeping it simple this week. And that is, I am blessed, I am guided, I am grateful. I am blessed, I am guided, I am grateful. So whatever I ams you can think of is totally fine. I just like to give some suggestions because I know that when I started years ago trying to think of affirmations, sometimes my mind was just blank, or I just couldn't remember something or just grab onto it. And so it's helpful to hear other people's affirmations and commit them to memory. So if you are one of those people that are not doing this work, that is why I share what I share with the affirmations, is to just give you some examples, something you can write down on a sticky note, put in your wallet, put by your bed, put in your bathroom, somewhere where you just repeat it. And you can, and obviously tweak it, right? Tweak it for what works for you. But remember to do it, and committing it to memory and etching it in your brain and make it part of your daily thought process is when you are going to start seeing results and seeing positive shifts and positive changes in your life. But you have to do the work. There you go. So I hope you like this podcast. Again, happy holidays. I have some guests lined up for the next few podcasts I'm super excited about. I hope you have subscribed to the Monday Mojo Newsletter. It comes out every Monday morning. And you can subscribe to that via my website, which is goodkarmasuccesscoach.com. And when you sign up, you'll get the free Believe and Take Action Daily Guide. It's kind of like a mini workbook that shares with you all the things I do. And there's a quiz related to that to see how you score. And then you can just take it from there. So it's just a fun little guide, and I hope you enjoy that. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, and my Instagram is Melinda_Van Fleet. So thank you very much. Until next time, be grateful, be curious, always be learning, and you know what? Have some fun too. Thanks for listening.